Hello, this is Left Turn Productions, and it is finally time for the biggest race of the year, the Omaha 500. 43 cars, a record for entries, well, not entries, a record for cars in a race. I mean, this race also did have the entry record with 49 entries, but 6 of them did DNQ this race, but we got 43 cars here in this race for 20 laps to battle it out and see who will win in the Omaha 500. So let's briefly go over some of your stories. So you got the 3 car of Austin Dillon. He won the Omaha 500 in York Cup Series Season 3, so that was the second Omaha 500 on a last lap pass. He's starting near the back. He's looking to get his second one. And then we got the 41 of Cole Custer. Also, actually the defending Omaha 500 winner was going to start on the front row, but he went upside down in his duel, and so he has a backup car and he's going to be starting towards the back of the field as well. And then we've got a bit of a number change. So Zane Smith, who drove the 51 in the duels, decided to swap over to the 27 for this race. Now, this won't have any effect on the car itself. It's just a number swap. But yeah, look for Zane Smith in the 27 this race and not the 51. And then we got Kyle Busch, the first ever Omaha 500 winner. He won it in a photo finish over Daniel Suarez, and he's starting up towards the front. And then we've got your front row starters. Denny Hamlin and Eric Jones won their respective duels, and Brad Keselowski is on the pole for this race. So let's go over your starting lineup. Row 1 is Brad Keselowski and Eric Jones. Row 2 is Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick. Row 3 is Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch. Row 4 is Martin Truex Jr. and Brett Moffitt, and Row 5 is Alex Bowman and Ross Chastain. Row 6 is Joey Logano and Chris Buescher. Row 7 is Michael McDowell and Jeb Burton. Row 8 is Zane Smith and Clint Bowyer. Row 9 is Ty Dillon and Chase Briscoe. And Row 10 is Eric Almirola and Myatt Snyder. Row 11 is Ryan Sieg and Justin Haley. Row 12, Christopher Bell and Matt Kenseth. Row 13, Daniel Suarez and David Reagan. Row 14, Cole Custer and Austin Cindric. And row 15, Ryan Preece and William Byron. Row 16, Matt DiBenedetto and Ryan Truex. Row 17, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Chase Elliott. Row 18, Justin Allgaier and Tyler Ankrum. Row 19, Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. And row 20 is Jimmy Johnson and Austin Dillon. Row 21 is Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman, and rounding out the 43-car field is John Hunter Nemechek. Like I said, 20 laps in this race. These guys will have to pit one time at least in this race. And we're going to have Keselowski and Jones lead us to the green flag, and it's in the air as we see the field fly on by here at the Omaha Superspeedway. This is a very large field here. Again, the largest field we've ever had in a race. And already we've got some JGR cars teaming up in the middle. That's all 4 of them, it looks like, getting in a line, as well as another Toyota there, the 92 of Moffitt. The JGR cars were unbeaten in the duels, literally. And Eric Jones proving that out here with Denny Hamlin and his other teammates. And Jones is going to lead the first lap as we see some already 4 wide action going on further back in the pack here. And now we got a JGR 1, 2, 3, but Joey Logano's got up there with Brad Keselowski, so we got 2 Penske cars up there as well, and they're going to jump to the outside, try to break up those guys. Denny Hamlin ducks down to the inside with help from Kyle Busch. They are racing aggressively. And it looks like we got a bit of a problem with Ryan Sieg in the 46. We heard that he got loose off of turn 2, but was able to save it. We couldn't catch it on camera, though. Lap number 3, and it looks like Keselowski's going to try to go for the lead. He's side by side with Denny Hamlin. How about Michael McDowell up inside the top 5 now? He ran well in the last Omaha 500. he might be running well today, as look at Chase Briscoe. He is stuck on the outside, 4 wide. He is going to fall back. He's going to hold up the 24. Uh-oh. Oh, we might have our first accident, and we do. Caution is out. Hard hit for Matt Kenseth. William Byron, Chase Elliott, Ryan Sieg, and Chase Briscoe. That's 2 Hendrick cars already out of the race as they slide to a stop. Sieg's day is done. Man, you hate to see them wreck this early in the race. All the preparation that went into this race, and it just ends in a wrecked mess on the backstretch. Chase Briscoe and Chase Elliott, the 2 chases in here, were 2 of the drivers that had to qualify their way in on the race. And it's all for nothing here. As let's go and look at the replay. So there you have Chase Briscoe. We saw him falling back up on the high side. And William Byron came up on him. I think they tried to pass him, but they made contact with the 33. Went up the track, and there was nowhere any of these guys could go. And then Ryan Sieg got turned by somebody and also collected his teammate, Jeb Burton. But Burton will be able to continue. It looked like he just spun. And he spins out of the frame, but there isn't any damage on that 25 car. Matt Kenseth got up in the air a little bit. Let's look at it one more time. Yeah, that's the 24 and the 9 coming up on the 33. They make contact. William Byron has not had luck at all in that Liberty University car. Every time that he's driven it, he's been taken out in an early crash. Justin Allgaier in the 53 barely missed that, and I think it was the 3 car of Austin Dillon that got into the back of the 46 of Ryan Sieg to collect him as well. See some of those guys barely getting by, especially, like I mentioned, the 53. Justin Allgaier did a great job not getting involved. So all 5 of these guys are out of the race. Of course, Jeb Burton was involved in that as well, but he's able to continue as he just spun. And we're going to have a restart here on lap number 4. All right, JGR teammates going to lead them off, and Keselowski's already ducking down. That's illegal. You can't do that. That's probably going to be a penalty. He changed lanes before he got to the start-finish line, and that is a big no-no, and he is probably going to get a penalty for that. We saw Landon Markham do that in one of the York Legends races, and he got bopped for that. As we got some 3-wide action here, Michael McDowell got shuffled out. As now we see Christopher Bell getting up here in the number 95 car, and they are saying that the 2 car is going to have to come into the pits next time by to serve a drive-through penalty for changing lanes before the start-finish line. As now we've got, again, a Toyota 1-2-3, but this time Christopher Bell's getting up in this action. Reminder that both Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell had to qualify in. And we should see, yeah, Keselowski's heading in now. Your pole sitter here, making a big mistake on that restart. And now we got some more 3-wide action here. Oh, there's something hanging off the back of Ty Dillon's car. It appears to be some sort of rope or string. And it appears that it's come off right there. That might end up being a caution in the 40 car if David Reagan now collects it. This is probably going to end up being a caution here. It looks like it's got caught on the 68 as well. Oh, there goes the 40 in the corner. Now we've got a caution. The 40 of David Reagan spins in turns 1 and 2 after some debris got caught on his car. And that is going to be the second caution of the day. As you can see, these guys slowing down for the caution here in turn number 3. We're going to have a replay of that, and there is the string. It looked like it came off of the 40 and got unhooked from the 68 as well, and now it's lying on the track in turn 2, so they're going to have to pick that up. That is quite strange. Let's look at the replay. So this debris, it appears, was laying in turn 3. When the 13 of Ty Dillon picked it up, you can see Clint Boyer and Cole Custer backing off there because they don't want to have that cause any damage. And then it snaps off of Ty Dillon's car. And it lays on the bottom of the track, and then David Reagan picks it up with the front end. And eventually it gets stuck on the 68 of Tyler Ankrum as well. And the string's stretched out there and caused the 40 to spin in the corner. It comes on unlatched from the 40, and then Tyler Ankrum carries it a little bit further before it eventually comes off in turn 2. This isn't the first time we've had debris interference with a race on this channel, but this is definitely the strangest, I'd say, that we've had. Let's look at it one more time. And again, Ty Dillon picked this up in the middle of turn 3, and he's dragging it behind. It's caught underneath one of the axles. I think maybe the front axle, maybe? And then it comes off all by itself. And then David Reagan runs over it. And it gets caught in the front bumper and then eventually the front tire of the 68. So there is some damage to both of these cars due to the debris. Ty Dillon, I think, should be okay. But that caused David Reagan to spin. No further damage to that car, so the 40 and the 68 should be able to continue with some minor repairs on pit road. Same for the 13 of Ty Dillon, and that was a lucky break for Brad Keselowski, who could have possibly lost the pack if it wasn't for that. So we're going to have another restart again on lap number 7. Before we go to the restart, here are the drivers that had damage from that piece of debris, as well as Brad Keselowski, who of course had that penalty and will still kind of be penalized for that. He'll be in the back of the pack. But all three of these cars should be good to go for the rest of the race. And once again, it's Hamlin and Busch leading them off here on the restart. Green flag back in the air here on lap number 7. Denny Hamlin waits until he crosses the finish line to jump in front of Kyle Busch. Christopher Bell moving all the way up to the top of the track. He has help from Martin Truex. Joey Logano in the middle with help from the 34 McDowell. We've got him going 3 wide again. There should be green flag pit stops right around the midway point, so expect them to start to single file out. Not too far from now. But for now, they are racing for the lead as Christopher Bell is coming. Hamlin blocks. And here comes Martin Truex Jr. with a big run. He's got Daniel Suarez behind him. Where did Suarez come from? And he's got his teammate Moffitt with him as well as they're side by side for the lead. Hamlin still trying to hold on. And it looks like he will. As now we got some cars. Hamlin and Busch moving up to the top lane. Will we see others follow? And it looks like we will. They're starting to single file out. Now this is just to make pit stops a little bit easier. And Christopher Bell is stuck in the middle. Eric Jones is down on the bottom with a few of the other cars. He's probably looking for a spot in line as well, but thankfully he's not the 95 or the 34 who are going backwards. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, your top 3 here as we approach the halfway point, and now the JGR cars are going down there. Kyle Busch thought about going down there, but stayed up. And now Hamlin is collecting Jones here. And it looks like Reddick, Priest, pretty much everybody on the inside lane. That's all the Chevrolet drivers. They are pitting right now, so we have our first wave of green flag pit stops, and this is something you do not see on the channel very often. It's only happened one other time, and that was in the last Omaha 500, as we can see some of these guys heading into their stalls. As we approach the midway point of the race, there is no midway bonus in this race since this is not a points-paying race. But we can see all of these Chevrolets. You can see on the outside, you could, out on the track, maybe want to monitor the pack. There you can see up in the top left, you saw the 11 car going by with the pack. And we got some drivers done. Ryan Brees, Bubba Wallace, Ricky Stenhouse, Justin Haley are all finishing up their pit stops as we come to lap 11. They got to make sure they don't get lapped here. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like we got a problem on the track. Kyle Busch is around, and he's impacted the outside wall, and there's going to be a caution for that. And we should expect everyone else to come in after. Oh, look out. Austin Cindric comes in late and makes an impact with Kyle Busch. Busch's car was already damaged on the front end, and Austin Cindric just piles in as well. So both drivers are out of the race. Let's go to the replay and see what happened. All right, so this is the pit road cam. Look in the bottom right corner. You can see Kyle Busch, third car in line. And he's got the back bumper of what I assume is Daniel Suarez behind him. And it looks like Suarez might have bumped him there, and he goes head on into the outside wall, starts spinning around. All these guys take evasive action. Kyle Busch goes up into the wall again, a light tap this time, and then slides down the track. And then all these guys, people darting out of the way. The caution is out at this point. Austin Cindric tries to go low, but Kyle Busch was there. And he makes contact with the 18 car, so an unfortunate end to both drivers' days. Kyle Busch looked like one of the faster cars. And Austin Cindric, this was his first Omaha 500. And too bad for both of these drivers that end up getting caught up in this. And the Chevrolet drivers barely missed getting lapped. So everyone maintains a lead lap spot, and all of the Toyotas and Fords went into pit lane under caution. So the running order has shaken up entirely once we see this restart that is about to happen here on lap number 12, I believe. Alright, so here's your running order after pit stops. Tyler Reddick is the leader, Alex Bowman second, Ryan Preece third, Zane Smith fourth, Justin Haley fifth, and you can see Kurt Busch, Myatt Snyder, Ricky Stenhouse, Jeb Burton, Ross Chastain. As we expected, all Chevy top 10 because they all came in pitted just before the caution came out for the Kyle Busch crash. And looks like Bowman and Reddick are going to lead them off here on the restart. A bit of wheel spin from the 37 as we come back to green on lap number 12. Ricky Stenhouse going up to the outside with Ross Chastain. They're getting aggressive. They want to get to the front immediately, as they're still side by side for the lead coming out of 2. And we got some 4 wide going on in there with the 7, the 1, the 25, and the 48. Jimmy Johnson, we haven't mentioned his name. He started near the back, and now he's starting to get back up towards the front here as Tyler Reddick now in the lead. But here comes the 37 of Preece on the outside. Coming into lap 13, we're starting to get into the second half of this race, or we are in the second half of this race. Now we got Stenhouse and David Reagan up on the outside. Remember, Reagan spun earlier in the race. We got 5 wide going on. Brett Moffitt being shuffled back. As Bubba Wallace looks to the inside, he's going to take Haley with him. They're 4 wide. Look out. They made some contact there, and somehow that didn't result in a crash. And now it's the JTG Doherty Racing cars, the 37 and the 47, who are first and second, and there's 4 wide behind them for third, fourth place. Bubba Wallace getting in the mix as well. What will Stenhouse do here with his teammate Ryan Preece in front of him? He's giving him a bump. Ooh, too much of a bump. Preece is around, but he saves it. Somehow, Ryan Preece, what a wheelman. And they're going 6 wide going into the corner. That's not going to work, and there they go. And this is the big one. In turn number 3, about a dozen or so cars involved, and a lot of them were up near the front. Oh man. They all slide to a stop between turns 3 and 4. Brad Keselowski, David Reagan, Martin Truex, Ross Chastain, Myatt Snyder, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola, Zane Smith, Michael McDowell, Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman, and up there on the top right, Justin Haley. Several drivers involved in this one. Huge accident going into turn 3 as they were going 6 wide down the backstretch. They could not fit in the corner, and they all started wrecking. Let's look at the replay. The big one strikes here in the Omaha 500, and I could see it coming from a mile away. Going into turn 3, there they are, 6 wide. At least one driver has to give, but they did it. That's not even where the wreck started. It started in front of them. Man. And it just instantly wipes out a lot of drivers. Almirola hard into the wall on the outside there. A lot of cars sliding. Look at all the drivers that missed it, though. John Nemechek, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano. Yeah, Logano looks like he missed it, as well as Tyler Ankrum. Let's look one more time at this wreck, see how it got started. Let's really analyze this. Again, they're 6 wide going into the corner. It looks like they're able to fit, but they weren't able to fit, as you can see. Actually, it looks like there was 2 separate things that caused the wreck. If you see towards the front, Austin Dillon and Eric Almirola got into it. And as well, further back, David Reagan, right where the 6 wide is happening. David Reagan and Myatt Snyder make contact, and that's 2 separate accidents that just combined into each other. Zane Smith with a hard hit. Put the 3 car up on top of him. Smith was having a good run. He was impressing in the duels and in the race. Fortunately, he's not going to get the finish he deserves. You've got McDowell in that as well, who was near the front. Tyler Reddick, who was leading at one point. As well as Brad Keselowski, the pole sitter. Truex was near the front. Chastain was near the front. Reagan was in third not even a couple laps ago. And now he's involved in this. That's all 3 RCR cars, the 3, 8, and 31. All involved in that one. Ryan Newman was in that as well. Let's look one more time at the replay here. It'd be easier to tell you who wasn't in it. Yeah, the 3, the 10, and the 5 all tried to squeeze in, and Justin Haley's good run ends as well. Kurt Busch on the outside, barely misses it. How about this on the bottom? The 53 and the 95, they make contact. Allgaier almost spins, and they both get away without that much damage. They might have to come into pit road for slight repairs, but they'll be able to continue. And Ryan Truex going down through the grass to try and miss his older brother, and he also barely missed Tyler Reddick there. So we got a lot of near misses in that, but also a lot of junked up race cars, which is really a shame. But we are starting to get into the latter part of the race, and that's just kind of the product of this kind of racing. So we're going to have a restart, I believe, on lap number 14 here. So I believe with 6 or 7 laps remaining. And the track is actually starting to get dark, so we might see the lights turn on here soon. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. up front next to Bubba Wallace. We have a lot of upsets here towards the front. Who is going to get it here? I have doubts that this is going to be the final restart as we go back green here on lap 15. Ricky Stenhouse gets a good restart. We got some 3 wide action already going on with Daniel Suarez. And now Jimmy Johnson is up into the 2nd position. Johnson has been near the back for the first half of the race. He was just kind of hanging out back there because he started back there. Now he's up front making some noise as Denny Hamlin trying to get back up to the front. He let a lot of laps early, trying to get back out front, but Stenhouse has a huge lead. Lap 16, they're going to run up on him. There's no way he can maintain that big lead. And here comes Johnson. Johnson to the outside. Stenhouse blocks. And now he blocks low. And here comes Hamlin in the 11. They're starting to get dicey now. Suarez still leading the outside lane. Kurt Busch to the inside with help from Allgaier. And here comes Hamlin to the top with help from Daniel Suarez as here comes the lights. We're night racing, boys. as we're getting some 4 wide now. Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick trying to get up near the front as we've got 4 laps to go. Stenhouse still leading Hamlin on the outside. Bubba Wallace in the 3rd lane, but he's going to get shuffled out. Suarez and Hamlin going to get a big bump there from Bowyer, and now Hamlin with the nose out in front, but they're still side by side for the lead. Now Stenhouse has the advantage going into turn 3 with the help from Johnson and Kurt Busch. Stenhouse now fully clear of Hamlin. Now he's got to block the lanes to see if he can manage that. Oh, they make contact. Somehow they're able to collect it. 3 laps to go. And now it's Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace battling for the lead. Jeb Burton, where did he come from? He's in this as well in the 25 car. Suarez still behind Hamlin as the pack is getting broken up and Jimmy Johnson is towards the back of it. He's not out of it yet though. And the outside lane had a run. Bubba Wallace to the lead with help from Jeb Burton. Wouldn't it be a story if Bubba Wallace gets his first career win here in the Omaha 500? Jeb Burton also looking for his first win in his first start. 2 laps to go. I can't believe they haven't wrecked yet. Here comes Hamlin through the middle, and Stenhouse is coming back with help from the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek, who started last in this race and is now up towards the front, battling for this win. It's Stenhouse and Bubba side by side going into turn number 3. 3 wide throughout the rest of the pack. Stenhouse tries to side draft. Coming up to turn 4, he's got a run from Nemechek. Stenhouse clear again. White flag in the air. Next flag will end it, whether it be the yellow flag or the checkered flag, and Stenhouse has a full lead. Nemechek and Bubba side by side for second. There's 5 wide racing going on in the back. Stenhouse washed up the track a little bit. Comes down to block Bubba. He's not able to. He's into the inside wall. Stenhouse will not win as he crashes on the backstretch. Going through turn 3, Nemechek has the lead. Bubba through the middle. They're 3 wide. They're sliding up the track. They're crashing more. Side by side, 3 wide to the win. Who's gonna win it? Clint Bowyer and Daniel Suarez side by side, and Bowyer gets it as they crash across the line. Jeb Burton on his roof. And they're still wrecking. Oh, another hit for Burton as they crash across the finish line. And a close finish for that one, and Bowyer, out of nowhere, steals the win for this Omaha 500 in dramatic fashion. There's the 38 of Nemechek, who was in the lead coming out of turn 4. Bubba Wallace was up contending as well. Ryan Truex, Denny Hamlin, Matt DiBenedetto all littered right around the start-finish line. And there's Ricky Stenhouse at the entrance of the pit lane, who is leading, coming to the white flag. What a thrilling finish to the Omaha 500. Clint Bowyer, after so long being in races on the channel, almost 3 years now, finally gets his first win on the channel, and it's in the biggest race of them all. Let's go back and re-watch that finish. That was incredible. Here is the replay of the final lap. Let's look for Clint Bowyer here in this image. I believe there he is in the 14, right there. And he's right around, what is that, like 10th or 11th place? Coming to the white flag. He's got to run with Suarez down on the bottom. But up front, Stenhouse is the leader going through turns 1 and 2. So they're going 5 wide behind. Coming up to turn 2, Stenhouse goes up the track a little bit, tried to block Nemechek. Then comes up to comes down to block Bubba Wallace. He wasn't clear. Gets sent to the inside wall. Hard impact. Thankfully, he was okay. And now, through turns 3 and 4, it's John Hunter Nemechek trying to do the last of first challenge. Bubba Wallace with a run out of 4. Nemechek came up to try and block that, and there's another wreck. Now Daniel Suarez has the lead, and it looks like he might have vengeance from the first Omaha 500 where he lost to Kyle Busch, his then teammate, in a photo finish. But Bowyer makes the slingshot move on the inside as Jeb Burton, trying to block Ty Dillon, gets turned around there. And Clint Bowyer, by that much, by a nose, will get it over Daniel Suarez. Heartbreak again for Daniel Suarez. He loses another Omaha 500 in a photo finish. And Jeb Burton, I believe he still got third place, despite sliding sideways across the start-finish line and then flipping after. It looked like the air just picked up the 25 car as he and Ty Dillon crash across the finish line. And then he's upside down. We got these cars that are involved in the previous crash coming in here. Thankfully, Kevin Harvick and Alex Bowman here not moving very fast when they hit the 25 car, so that was not a big impact. Everybody involved in all the crashes on the last lap were okay and were able to get out of their cars on their own. Of course, they had to flip over the 25 car, which took a bit, but once they did, Burton was able to get out. What a wild finish. Let's look once again at the very end here. After Stenhouse got turned, Nemechek in front. Looks like he has it. Going to try to get his first win. Front Row Motorsports' first win. Bubba Wallace. A lot of these guys going for their first win up here. Denny Hamlin, you can see him up there. He was trying so desperately to miss that and got collected in it anyway. And didn't end up finishing the race either, as they're 3 wide there. We got a lot of good runs here. Suarez for the Pacific Racing Team. Another second place photo finish result for Pacific Racing. They've had a lot of those this season. Of course, Jeb Burton third. How about Justin Allgaier for 5395 Racing, finishing fourth? Ty Dillon gets his best finish in fifth. Tyler Ankrum for Holy Toledo Racing, the team that just assembled itself right before the deadline for the entry list, 7th for Tyler Ankrum. A lot of great runs out here and a lot of attaboys to give to some of the underfunded teams that got good finishes out here today. So let's look at the final race results and then wrap this thing up. So here are your final Omaha 500 results. Clint Bowyer gets that long-awaited win on the channel. Daniel Suarez, another heartbreak in second place. Jeb Burton, who flipped after the checkers, finishes third. Justin Allgaier fourth. Ty Dillon fifth. That's a pretty wacky top 5 right there. A lot of underdogs in there. Jimmy Johnson comes away with a solid 6th place finish. This might be the first time he's actually finished an Omaha 500, and he got a 6th place finish. Tyler Ankrum 7th again. I just mentioned how impressive that 7th place is for Ankrum. This was also his very first start, as well as Jeb Burton, who finished 3rd. So props to the 68 team right there. Brett Moffitt finishes 8th, so that's 2 Pacific Racing cars in the top 10. Ryan Preece and Kurt Busch round out the top 10. Preece was up front at points in the race, and Kurt Busch just had a solid race. Eric Jones finishes 11th, Chris Buescher 12th, Christopher Bell 13th, Cole Custer 14th, Joey Logano 15th, and we start to get into the drivers that wrecked on the last lap. Kevin Harvick, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Truex, John Hunter Nemechek all finished the race. And then the second page of results here, none of these guys were able to finish the race. Denny Hamlin, Matt DiBenedetto crashed out on the last lap. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as well crashed out of the lead on the back straightaway. Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, Justin Haley, Austin Dillon, Zane Smith, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, David Reagan, Myatt Snyder, Ross Chastain, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Newman, and Michael McDowell were all involved in the big one on lap number 13, or lap number 14 rather. And then you've got Kyle Busch and Austin Cindric, who crashed on lap 11. And then Chase Briscoe, Matt Kenseth, William Byron, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Sieg finishing last there. All those drivers crashed out on lap number 3. So thank you guys for watching the Omaha 500, the biggest race of the year. Clint Bowyer wins it in spectacular fashion. And the next race planned is the LTPSS race at East City Circuit, which should be a fun one. The first road course race, I think actually maybe the only road course race of the season. And then after that, we head over to Glenville Speedway, the dirt track, for the BLPS race. And then we head over to Mackenzie Stadium, a small short track, not dirt, but it is paved, to have some beating and banging with the short track series cars for the LTPSS. So a lot of racing going on in July here in this channel, so stay tuned for that. This is Left Turn Productions, signing out.